What's up, everybody? Welcome to York Reacts, and today we're going to be checking out an Avatar 2 kind of behind-the-scenes featurette. It's going to be talking about the actors, some of the motion capture stuff they used. I'm also going to talk about a really important scene that's kind of blown the minds of a lot of visual effects artists out there and creators like myself, in the industry, doing animation and doing this stuff for so long. This scene that I'm going to show you guys, it really blows me away, the amount of detail and how real it looks. And it's a combination of kind of two things, reality and CG. And I want to talk about that. So let's break down this cool behind the scenes trailer and featurette, and let's take a look at what they got here, shall we? So first of all, if you look at this stage right here, it's got all kinds of stuff for them to use and utilize for their acting and performances and setups. And look at all the mattresses and stuff that they got out here. They also have, if you notice, this netting that goes around here, and this is probably to recreate what's exactly in the film in the final, where they're going to be running on this platform. Now it looks really bungee, which is going to create some spongy effect on their feet, so I'm not sure if that's something that they're okay with dealing with, but either way, it looks like they have a lot of opportunities to build stuff. Like when I was working at Rockstar Games, I got the opportunity to go on set just like this, do some motion capture directing, and I got to utilize all their like little things here that like you can see in the background. And what was cool is on set they had like basically an adult version of Legos and Connects, to where you could put together like a car door or any kind of thing you wanted to do to build on set to capture what you needed to. It was really cool.
There are different ways to make films that have CG characters. What we're interested in with performance capture is the totality of the performance. Physical, emotional, facial, the eyes.
Now, if you see here, they have these black markers that are kind of around her eyes and face and different stuff. And these are just to mimic the movement in CG later, right? These are getting captured by those two little cameras right there. But in the future, there will probably, you won't even need to put those markers on there. You can just film the face. And it's coming really soon. Trust me, I've seen it. It looks phenomenal. So the newer technology is even coming that's going to replace what he's using here in Avatar.
Everything. The actor creates the emotion. The actor creates the moment. It's our job to make sure that everything the actor did is preserved in their CG character.
And that's my job too, right? So a lot of times the motion capture will not get it perfectly. It captures nuance, but there's a lot of stuff missing, and sometimes it doesn't get enough of it, or it does too much, and so there's always somebody that kind of needs to come in after the fact and tone it down or fix it.
You are very hard on them.
I'm the father. It's my job. Everything.
See, that looked almost exactly like the motion capture, like the one-to-one.
Thing that Jake Sully as a Navi does, Sam has done.
Yeah, like if you think about it, like these performances are in these characters. These are living, breathing characters, because these are living, breathing actors that are behind these performances, which really makes this thing come to life.
I thought we lost them.
See those little nuances of when he clenches his mouth together right there? It really makes the scene kind of more realistic.
You can capture the emotion, you can capture the subtleties, the nuances of the movements, you can capture the eye, you can capture the tics, everything. Capture it all.
I'll be nice once, then I won't.
Yeah, but see that? They animated the ears going back on this character and different things, and it's actually probably not capturing the eyes very well. I've used faceware and certain technology that's probably similar to what they're using here, and it captures the eyes pretty good. But if the eyes dart in like a really kind of aggressive direction, then it will not capture it very well, and you have to clean up certain moments, and the eyes are difficult. You still need a lot of work to do. Like this, what you're seeing here is the final result.
The moment I saw her for the first time, I was just like, you're just so beautiful. Blue has never looked more beautiful.
Well, look, it's coming from a beautiful actress.
Squad. It is a family.
The amazing thing is that the technology gives me that portal to bring my 14-year-old self to play this girl.
Avatars only, go around.
In making a movie set on Pandora, Pandora doesn't exist. Avatars don't exist at 9 foot tall. We have actors working in a volume with markers on their body, facial head rigs on their head, and we capture 100% of their performance in the digital world.
At the beginning of the day, the first thing we do is get in.
And what's cool is that, like, a lot of you guys, if you're visited my channel before, you're here before, you know that this is kind of what I do for a living. Is I take this motion capture performance of actors and then I clean it up later in Maya or in Motion Builder, and then it gets touched again in a final way with visual effects artists and different people that put the final touch on stuff.
The performance capture suit, and that is a.
I've also done this too. I've also suited up and done this and acted on stage. It's really fun. It's very tiresome too, by the way. This is not an easy thing to do. And
it's totally filled with ping-pong-like balls around us, so they can then track my arm and then translate that into the virtual world.
They have all these little cameras that send these little rays which give an image of you moving around, so every little movement is your movement.
And then we put a head rig on, and it's a helmet, and it...
These people are like blown away. The kids are blown away by this technology because they've never seen it before, right? It's really cool when you see it firsthand.
Has a camera that's right in front of your face.
One of the big advances that we've made technologically on the sequels is the facial performance capture. We are capturing a much higher fidelity of performance.
Yeah, but see, she had a lot of like increase in tension in her face, and it didn't come across all the way in that other, like you can see her
much higher fidelity
here. And it's not as much right there. It's missing a little bit.
This family is our fortress.
His comes off pretty good, but it's still missing something, little tad. God, it's phenomenal though.
I've done a lot of green screen, I've done a lot of blue screen, but never anything, of course, like this, where there really is no screen. You're just acting in a space.
Now you must stand with us.
And I heard that Kate ended up training herself to be able to breathe for like 5 minutes underwater, because they did a lot of this motion capture work underwater, which is a brand new technology that they're kind of innovating and working on over there with, James Cameron, the whole team over there. And it's a part of Weta Effects, I believe, is who's working with this. And the cool thing is that not cool, but it's very interesting that they have to hold their breath underwater, because when you basically make air bubbles in the water, you're creating a disruption in the water. And when you create a disruption in the water, like a rippling effect or things that are getting in the way of the cameras seeing all those little balls, then the capture will get messed up, and the person that's in there acting, the skeleton and everything will break, and it'll get really messed up. So that's why they don't usually do it in water. So nowadays they're trying to do new technology where they can film it in water, but if you see, like I was just explaining, you have to hold your breath literally in order to do it. It's pretty amazing stuff.
I've always thought that being in the volume is about playing and imagination, and there is no kind of fear or no shame. You can do whatever you need to do to get to that truth.
Saving their lives, that's all that matters.
I have had to work completely differently than I ever have before, and it's been an amazing experience to go back in time. Why am I different?
Oh, that's cool. Look at those rigs.
It is just remarkable to be able to see the movements and the performance go straight into the character. And it's like, there's Kate, and then, hey, there's Renard. So that has been fascinating to me.
And if you look right here, she's wearing like these pieces of hair, sort of, but they're not hair, right? They're just like made of fabric or something that's draped over her, and those are for later to make sure that they get the correct movement on those type of things. I'm surprised that they don't try to capture them on stage, at least with one or two of the markers, but it's very complicated. So what they do is they probably use like those pieces of fabric that are flowing around her head and stuff just as reference to how they're going to animate the real hair in the movie. Another thing I want to talk about is this scene here that's in a trailer. Now, this was in, I think, one of the first or second trailers in this film, but I want to talk about it because it's got some really unique kind of blend between live action and CG. So let's take a look here, and let's show it to you here. Check this out. Okay, So, in this scene, let me turn the volume down. He's kind of using his hands to wrap around this leather strap, and he's kind of pulling it together to tighten it down on this piece of, I don't know what you call it. But if you look at this scene, it looks real. The skin looks real, the hands look real, and I did some research, and I believe that it is real. Okay, so the arms and hands and the straps around the hands, that type of stuff is all real. And the piece that's like under the water that he's sitting on, and maybe the piece of garment over here to the left of the screen, that's all CG. Even some of the parts of the water, most of the water is real. So there's only a tiny bit of CG in this shot, actually, from what I understand. And that would make sense because the whole thing looks kind of realistic. The only thing that seems to be maybe fake is this little piece over here to the left. And I'd really like to see, a breakdown to see what they did here, because if you look closely, the arms, they look absolutely real. And it looks like they're just painted. So someone has done a really good job as a makeup artist. And I mean, look at the sun coming in here and reflecting onto the but see, over here on the left, it looks a little fake. So, but man, it has a lot of visual effects artists out there like myself and animators and people, we're scratching our heads kind of at this shot, because when I first saw it, it looks real. It looks completely real. But it can't be, right? This is an Avatar. He's not going to just shoot pure live action footage, right? So some of it's got to be CG. But what part? So I wanted to show that and touch on that, because it really blew my mind of what they're doing nowadays and how far they're like taking this technology, because it's really fooling the eye of even some of the best artists out there that do this stuff for a living. So anyways, let's jump back in here. Let's keep going for the rest of this trailer and break down some more of this featurette that they have.
And here there's Renard. So that has been fascinating to me.
What is this? Tonawari?
She's a great actress.
What is this?
I find as a director, I'm much more attuned to the actors because that's all I have to worry about. I'm not distracted by the camera move or the extras in the background. I'm just there for them. That's all I care about. That's all I'm watching. It's an amazing process.
It's nice for him that that's all he can care about, right? He doesn't have to worry about all the other things in production. He just kind of goes in and does his thing.
The only way to do it. It's the only way to make this film.
Yeah, see, and it is one of the only ways, because he can be distraction free. He can work his magic, basically. Awesome stuff. Great. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's really cool to see some of the stuff that goes behind the scenes on some of these movies. I've always been fascinated by it. I love seeing the DVD extras when you kind of buy a movie, and I like to bring that stuff to my channel. I want to talk about that stuff. I've been working in the industry for about 15 years now, and so I'm hoping to bring all kinds of cool, unique things to this channel for you guys, and hopefully something unique that you haven't seen. So if you're new here, you know what buttons to press. I'd really appreciate it, and I appreciate all your time and support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!